bienvenidos. Welcome back to my channel. As you guys can see from the title, today we are doing eyeshadow palettes that don't get enough attention from me, but they really should. These are palettes that, no joke, do pop in my head periodically throughout the year, but because of circumstances when it comes to panning or the colors that I'm really going towards, I don't reach for them, but I really should. I really should. But I'm going to make a mental point, just like I did with my panning partners, to make sure to incorporate those palettes to hit a second pan on. I've been doing really good with that. Then maybe I'll do the same where I'll do a mental note, keep this list out to then be able to grab these throughout the weeks, especially since some of these are more of a summer thing. So if you're interested in hearing about these 10 eyeshadow palettes, stay tuned. But first, if you're new, welcome. Alejandra, I go by Alex, eyeshadow enthusiast with a dash bar Japan. If you want to continue to see that kind of content on your feed, subscribe and join us. And now let's get on with these palettes. I'm trying not to grab this arm, you guys. I got my allergy shot yesterday and they did it on the back of my arm, and for whatever reason I have this pain shooting down my arm now. I don't know. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't, where it's like my wrist hurts, my shoulder hurts. It's like this whole entire connecting. I may have a pinched nerve and I don't even know it, but whatever. It's just, it kind of hurts and it's a little stiff, so I'm just trying to gently work it out because I need my arm, you know. Small kids and I gotta cook and clean and stuff. So anyway, these palettes are in no particular order, you guys. For one reason or another, they are just in my brain. I really should get use out of them. And some people may not like these palettes, but I actually do. So I know we're all entitled to our opinion, but this is my list. First and foremost is this one, the Anastasia Riviera. This is one of the main reasons I said that, because a lot of people didn't like this palette, but I actually do. I like this palette because it has the neutrals and the brights in here, so it's very wearable, and I do remind myself of this palette every spring and summer, and for one reason or another, I don't pull it out. So this palette looks like something I could have created in this eye look right here with the yellow and the purple. I used other palettes, but I could have created it with this palette. But this is what I'm getting at, is I really should, because I do like the color story of it. It's just I don't reach for it. So this is my first palette where it really should get more love and it just doesn't. Here's another one, but this one's more for the fall. This is the Sample Beauty Jewel Tone Edition, the Prodigy palette. This is such a beautiful palette, but again, this reminds me of fall, and when fall hits, I always forget to pull this back out. I remember it during the summer, but then once fall hits, I don't know why, but she is going to get pulled out this fall. It's a beautiful palette. I really do enjoy it. It's such a nice jewel tone palette. Like when I think of jewel tones, this is what I think of. It's so pretty. And the different textures and formulas in here, it makes it even better for me. So I got to remember about this one. Here's another palette that was misunderstood. This is the Smashbox Pinks and Palms. I remember when certain individuals made a review on this and they said this wasn't that pigmented. Yes, that it was the whole point of this palette. Not every palette needs to be super pigmented, because not everyone likes a super pigmented palette. This is more of a buildable kind of formula and more of a sheer wash if you wanted it to be, so that way they're not so in your face. You want color, but not so in your face. And this is a very beautiful palette. I have reached for this last spring, but I haven't reached for it this spring, and it has been on my mind. It's very pretty. I really do like it. And even though this doesn't look like that, it can look like that if I would use a cream shadow under it or really pack it on. I think it would look really pretty. So I really got to pull this one out again. I like it. The bronze and the pink together is just something. I don't know. I really like it. My Tiny Varmos palette. I love this palette, and it always ends up showing up in ranking videos when it comes to my favorites and things. But I seem to forget to pull it out. Like, this is a palette that can be used in the fall and the spring and the winter and any other time of the year. It's summer. You have a little bit of everything, and I think it was so well made. I got to remember to pull this one out, and it should show more love. I really should show more love to this one. Now the next one, I know why I don't give it that much love, because I have to be in the mood for a rainbow look, and sometimes I'm just not in the mood. You guys know I love my neutrals. You know I love my colorfuls. And lately I have been incorporating neutrals with colorful. So I haven't been pulling this one on. This is the Viseart Editorials. If I'm going to pick a rainbow palette to keep forever, it would be this one because the quality of this is so good. Viseart has really, really good mattes. And if you want colorful mattes, this is what you would want the quality to be like. Effortless, buildable, pigmented, but not overly pigmented. I mean, it is perfection. I really, really like it. And if you look up close, it looks like I've never touched this palette. And you guys, that's such a lie. I have used this quite a few times and you can't even tell. That's how little amount of color you need on your brush because it's so pigmented, but yet blends like a dream. Really enjoy it, and I really should use this a lot more. This one, the Viseart Sugar Crystals. Again, I feel like this one was a hit or miss with people, but I love the concept of this. I really, really did. You're getting these columns here of color stories, your purples, your blues, your greens, your yellows, oranges, and pinks. You're getting your matte version, you're getting a shimmery version, and like a topper version at the bottom. Mix and match. It's so beautiful. Every look that I've done with this palette has come out so nice. I have no complaints of it, the formula, and it's such a beautiful spring summer palette. Why am I not reaching for it? I don't know. Even though I am not buying that many palettes these days, I still forget sometimes about these. But this one's such a beautiful one. I really need to reach out for this one. Okay, this one has been on my mind a lot lately too, and I really should pull it out. It is the Club Nebula palette. Even though this has darker shades in there, there is some summery shades like these three right here, these right here, this whole row down here. I can even get away with using this one in the summertime. Deepening out with these, like it's still a springy, summery palette for me. I'm always thinking about this palette, but for whatever reason, I don't pull it out. I don't know why I pull it out. I pull out other things instead. I guess it's just because I get overwhelmed with so many palettes. Sometimes I just pick whatever comes to mind first instead of deciding one shade from each palette sometimes, but this is such a beautiful palette. I really, really need to pull that one out again. Here's another one, Rave Reviews. Absolutely love it. There's nothing wrong with it, and yet I'm not pulling it out as often. This is the Avocado Toast. I think this is by far my favorite one out of this format, and one, the packaging is green, I have to say. And two, there is a lot of green in here that I love. These greens are just beautiful. Somebody had mentioned to me that they wanted a green that didn't pull blue or gray. And these right here, I would say, like especially this one, wouldn't pull blue or gray for you. That's a pretty one. Like this one, I could see a little bit of blue in there. I could see a little hint of blue in that one. These are so beautiful, you guys. And I don't have to do a green look. I could do like a peachy look, an olivey look, a brown look, a yellow look. So it's not necessarily just a green look. Very, very pretty. I need to pull that out. This one. Why? Why am I not reaching for this, which I almost dropped? The Saharan 2. This is so pretty. Is it even available anymore? I don't even know. I've used this a couple times, but haven't reached for it much. And this is a summer to fall palette. This is a perfect transition from summer to fall, and it is good quality. This is when Juvia's Place threw in those palettes where you got amazing quality, and then they went back to the crappy stuff. But overall, it's such a great color story, such a great color formula, everything about it. I really like it, and I need to pull this one out more, definitely. Last but not least, I raved about this palette for so long, so many times, and I keep forgetting to pull this out. So Jaded, and I have been thinking about this one a lot lately. This is what this one looks like. This looks like I barely use it, you guys. I've had so much use of this palette. These two that are missing right here were glitter shades. Speaking of that, my kids are currently using them in arts and crafts. That's what I grab my glitters for them. So they're being emptied out with my kids' arts and crafts. But anyway, this is such an amazing color story. I really do like it. I think it's perfect, beautiful. Colourpop came out with a new palette just like this with basically the same color story. I forget what it's called, the Jewel Tone or something. So if you missed out on that one, you can missed out on this one, you can get that one. But this one, oh my goodness, I just love this one a lot. One of my top favorite Colourpop palettes ever. They did such a good job with it. Kathleen did such a good job. So these are my 10 palettes that should get more love from me that don't. I am going to keep this list out because I am going to do my best to incorporate these. So stay tuned to my Instagram post whenever I post the looks that I do or the layouts that I have. I'll share with you guys what eyeshadow palettes I'm using so that way I can hold myself accountable as well and look back on my photos. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what palettes you should be using more but you don't for one reason or another. I'd love to hear your list. Thank you again. I'll put more videos on the screen for your enjoyment. Until then, adios.